Yo,
Everyone thinks I'm gonna be late, yeah. Now I see
mate,
you.
you're surprising me today. Well done, well done. After applaud. Everyone, clap for Tej. He's on time.
What can I say, man? What can I listen? I don't know where these rumors are coming from, but I'm always on
Mate,
time.
I've seen it in flesh. I've seen it on Instagram lives. I've seen it on Clubhouse. Everywhere, bro. You're known for being late. Like people just expect it. Jump on the call, people just expect you to be late. So it's not a good and bad thing, I guess. But I don't know. But yeah,
It's part of my charisma, and it's part of my charm.
how's it going, anyways?
Yeah, mate, I'm good. I've just been chilling today, to be honest, playing some Xbox, just kicking back a little bit.
Mate, you still have time for games?
Yeah, man. Sundays, Saturdays. Listen, I'm taking it easy, man. I know your uncle Grant Cardone wouldn't approve, but I don't give a fuck.
Mate, I don't approve. Mate, Xbox, bin it. PS4, PS5, whatever it is, bin it. That stuff don't make you money. That just slows you down. Like, listen.
But it makes you happy. It makes you happy, Alfred, before you call yourself working hard.
Your brain is occupied with games. So or I'll do nothing. Just sit still, maybe just a chill, watch something educational, an interview.
Listen, I'm learning about the psychology of human behavior. Most important thing you can learn.
No, fair enough. Anyways, let's get on to the agenda. Now, thanks, Tej, for obviously joining us. Thanks everyone that's on here as well. Thanks for supporting and coming on here. Today we're going to try and make it very, very interactive. So feel free. Today it's freebies. Any question, property related, HMO, buy-to-lets, raising finance, whatever it is, send it through. Please use the question box. There's literally a question icon on the bottom. Tap into that and drop the question into that. So I don't have to keep scrolling up and down to find the questions. I just want to use a question box to be able to raise up the question so everybody else can see it as well once we address it. And then we'll just quickly do intros for anybody doesn't know myself and yourself, Tej. So Tej, take it away. Stage yours.
My name is Tej. I'm a property investor, podcaster, author. My second book is coming out very soon and actually involves Mr. Alfred as well and 40 other people, exclusive. I've just dropped the number of people. That'll get released in a few weeks. I buy properties either to hold them as single lets, or I've got one recently local to me in Bedfordshire that I'm flipping on. And that's basically what I do in property. Same as Alfred, it's all using investor funds. I haven't put my own money in since the first property. So yeah, that's what I do.
No, cool. And for myself, so I'm Alfred Dzadey, if you know who I am. So I am based in the West Midlands. I mainly focus on HMOs. So I like high cash flowing assets. This is the reason why I stepped into the HMO space. So we'll talk a bit of that today as well. And like Tej was saying, similarly, I've used investor finance to be able to build my portfolio and continue to do so. I want to take it to the large scale stuff, be able to raise £1 million for per deal and do larger projects. So that's what I'm taking all of this to. But, we'll do some quick, I'm going to ask you a few questions and then allow the questions to pile up and then we'll kind of deep dive into Q&As. So obviously, Tej, for anybody who doesn't know you, so what made you want to step into the space of the buy-to-let, doing flips? Why that strategy?
So I wanted the property portfolio to be as straightforward and simple and hands-off as possible. Like, I treat it like a business, but I kind of call it a portfolio business. Like, it's kind of like a portfolio of investments, but you also systemize it and you also have things in it. So it's kind of a bit of both, because the real business element of property for me is the flips, right? So the buy-to-lets are that kind of background, couple hours a month across, 12 of them. And it brings in money, and yeah, it's not a huge amount, but obviously you need lots of them. But it's enough, and it's passive enough that
on that. Sorry to inject. Property investing, passive, not passive.
Once you go through headache, heartache, mental health issues, breakdowns, all of the madness, once you go through that, it can be look. So if you invest in stocks and shares, then that's totally passive. But for me, my buy-to-lets, a couple of hours a month, it's as passive as you'd want it to be because it's your baby.
Yeah. No. I made a point. Kaz was doing a live earlier on. Someone asked a question about property being passive. I think he brought it up even. And for me, the only true passive thing that's on there in this world is lending money. Like literally just borrow money from someone, get a monthly return, annual return, or like they're just saying, put money into stocks and shares and it goes up in value over time. You have to look at it. That's it. That's only property investing. What we do is not passive, especially the start bit, finding the deal, doing the viewings, get the build team in, all of that stuff. None of it is passive. Look, today's Sunday, we're doing Instagram Live. This is not passive, guys.
This is very true. This is very true.
There's a lot of graft, but obviously we understand the benefit of doing these things, so that's why we're in it. So we're doing all these things for the greater good, I guess. But honestly, I know people out there selling the whole passive stuff is really not. Like my weekends, I don't remember. It's bank holiday tomorrow, and someone just literally mentioned it. I was like, oh, really? Doesn't make a difference. I still got shit to do. I still got emails to send. I still got to chase my architect. So do you know what I mean? I'm still working. There's no real holiday. Obviously, I again, sacrifice I'm willing to make. It's what you sign up for. But I think people coming in, looking from the outside, just want to let you know, if there's something you're looking to get seriously involved in, there is a lot of hard work and determination you have to kind of put into this. But it's definitely not passive. But maybe on the renting side, if it's buy-to-lets, some element of passiveness, but strictly speaking, it's not.
It depends when you stop, right? Like you're going 200 miles an hour.
100%, bro.
But if you said right now, which I know you won't, I'm cool. Like, what HMOs I've got, I'm chilling. I'm gonna live on a beach. Tim Ferriss thing. I'm easy. It would be a lot more passive. Like tomorrow,
you'd be a lot more passive. But I don't think I still can't even say the words be passive. Because even my management agent, if anything goes wrong or tenants complain about something, they're still literally emailing me for a decision point to be made. So it's still, I can't, unless I outsource that and say, oh, there's someone, I pay you X amount, any emails from my agents, you reply to. I don't hear from you, literally, unless it's going to cost me 100 grand in the bill, do not flip and call my phone. I'm paying to handle, if there's £100 here for someone to go on site to look at the problem, deal with it. This is the bank account, spend the money in that bank account. And that's when maybe you can call it truly passive.
People do that. So it does happen, innit? People do that.
Yeah. All right. Let's deep dive into some of these questions. So,
wait, hold on, Alfred. Are people allowed to pick your brain today? Is this the time?
Mate, there was a guy today. Yeah. So I was at Foki Bank today. I had to show Foki Bank. I was like, mate, do you get this from other people? So someone they added me, fair enough. They just connected with me on Instagram maybe a few days ago or whatever. And they asked the question, and I knew the question was I was being polite, so I answered the question. And then, mate, the next thing they said is, it would be great, can I have your number? It would be great to have a phone call. I'm like, mate, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but think of it this way. The guys are on here. If every single person was messaging me to say, oh, can I have your number? Can I get on a phone call? We're likely going to spend 30 to an hour. I don't really like getting on a phone call and not really giving you a good time. Do you know what I mean? What's a 5-10 minute conversation? That's not a conversation. So if I'm really going to do it properly, for me, it needs to be 30 minutes, hour to kind of get into the nitty gritty, to kind of give you good advice or whatever you want to call it. So I can't spend that time to do that. It would mean I would have a portfolio. I won't be doing my projects. I won't be raising finance, finding new deals. So you have
and then, you wouldn't have any of your business, and then people would say, who's this Alfred guy giving advice without a business? And it's like, it's your fault, bro. Fucking calling us all the time, isn't it? It just be a cycle.
So that's why I said I've been putting on my Instagram, like, guys, the time where my free time is when I'm on Clubhouse, Instagram Lives. I've got a mastermind group you can be a part of. Obviously, that's a monthly commitment to that. But if you're up for it and being in my network, then that's what you have to pay to kind of be around me. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it for free. It's my time. I'm dedicated to kind of being available at that time every week. So, I mean, so those are the areas in which you can kind of get in contact with me, and I can give you my time. You even get above and beyond. Ask anyone in my mastermind group. But people are just, I don't know, people are just weird. I don't know if they don't get it, but it is what it is. But yeah, let's deep dive into the Q&A. So we've got one from Hussein. It says, have you done an assisted sale before? I personally haven't, but I'm about to do something. I don't know if it's called, I wouldn't call it assisted sale. So I mean, Tej is doing one on his flip now, we're doing actually the same thing on this particular deal. So I found this property where it's currently a HMO. This guy is looking to sell the property to me. He's happy for me to do a key undertaking, and that basically means we can exchange contracts. So again, legally bound in that we're going to transact on this property. I'm going to spend the money to do the works on the property. I have no bills, no bridging loan or nothing. I do all the work, so good 120, 130 grand to convert the house into the intended purpose. And then on the end of it, where it's now finished, dressed, tenanted, I would go and refinance it. And basically what it would do is I would buy the property at agreed price and refinance the new price at the same time. So he gets paid his sum, and I now own the property, and I'm now getting the rent from that property. So I don't know if that's an assisted sale. You might call it that, but that's the closest thing I've got to.
Technically, it kind of is. And it depends who defines it. I mean, you're still paying stamp duty at some point.
I'll still be paying stamp. I'll still be paying stamp on it when I transact on a completion. So
I would say it's an assisted sale because you're not paying bridging fees. You're not paying costs. You're just paying. I'd call it an assisted sale. Yeah, I would.
What about you, Tej? So you can explain yours as well. How did yours come about?
So mine is an auction purchase where, for some reason, which is so unusual and it's so rare, it was in the special conditions that you get a key undertaken. It took a week to get it, which was annoying because of their side. But basically, I've got the keys now. Strip out starting on Friday. I mean, it would have started earlier. I just couldn't find the right people. Now we're going to complete a week and a half after the strip out. So by the time we complete, I would have stripped out, done a rewire, hopefully done a replumb, and basically be replastering at that stage. Now, if it was in my usual area and I had trades, as soon as I got those keys, we could have almost been finished in a refurb by the time we completed, which means I got what, 1 month of investor finance, 2-3 months to sell it. So similar to Alfred, the key undertaking kind of works pretty awesome when it happens.
No, that's good, man. And that stuff is a powerful tool. I'm now even thinking as a strategy, if I can find someone motivated enough to say, look, because I'm going to pay, I worked out my bridging fees alone are close to 30 grand, including like paying the bricks. So my numbers are slightly larger as well. So just arrangement fee alone is about 5 grand. On a 400 grand, not 400 grand, 315, 320, it's almost 5-6 grand. Just on arrangement fee. This is not, then about 15K on the interest for like the 6 months minimum, like there or thereabouts. And then you've got these little fees as well you're going to pay in between as well. So you're spending a lot of money. So if you can kind of split the cost, so basically you're basically in a way overpaying to the seller, but to the seller, they're getting a higher price for their property, one, but you're just paying them the fees, the financing fees. So you're just passing those fees on to them in terms of the cost of which you're going to buy the house for. And therefore, you haven't got to pay the extortionate fees on bridging. And if they're happy to be on board that idea, then that's 15 grand saved. I can pay 20 grand to them above what they're wanting, as long as they're happy to do the strategy. And they've got to be, it's not everybody's cup of tea. They might need the money right there and there. So you've got to find the right people. But if I put it to them and they say, yes, I like the idea of this, we can put it legally binding, blah, 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 blah. They're happy to contract everything. We can do the deal like that. Oh, man. No more bridging loans.
It's amazing, man. If you can find vendors like that.
If you can find vendors like that, A1 strategy, man. A1, literally.
100%.
So we've got one again from Hussein. I probably should pick someone different. He's already asked the question from him. So, Tej, will you ever buy a HMO for your Uncle Alfred, from your Uncle Alfred Tactics?
Wait, aren't you younger than me?
I'm 28.
I'm 27. I'm 27, 28 this year. So, oh, I thought you were younger than me. I thought you were like 24 or something. Oh. I thought you were very young, man.
Nah, man, nah.
Would I buy a HMO? Would I buy one off Alfred? Yes, but would I do a HMO? No, because I just can't be bothered. Like this is how I look. See this chart, yeah. I want minimal effort, maximum return. Now, that doesn't mean not working hard. It doesn't mean not hustling or blah, 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 whatever you want. But it means, what can I do to be efficient to make the most return of the least work and the least effort? But it's hard. Some people don't get that because they're like, oh, but then you don't get that, bro. You know what I mean?
You ain't gonna tell me.
It's efficiency, you know? That's what it is, efficiency.
I like it. Okay.
You know, you can bring their questions on screen, you know, if you click on it.
Yeah, I am. So we've got one from Ryan RLB. How do you convince people to lend money privately if it's your first deal? So the easiest way to tackle this question, so everyone's talking about, this is about raising money for your first ever deal. For me, the way I did it was literally speaking to people in my closest network. People have known me for years. They like what I do. They like my work ethic. They know me really well. So it's not even about talking about a deal. So even when I'm presenting stuff, I'm not going to present a deal to them and say, oh, by the way, I'm doing these numbers. This is what it looks like. I need X amount of money. I'm literally going on the principle of, have you got money sat there? I want to go and buy some property, add some value to it, blah, blah, blah. So I don't go into detail. I don't start mentioning numbers and refinance, all that stuff, confuse them. I'm literally saying, do you have money available? Would you be keen on getting better interest than we're currently getting from the banks? And that's how I'm basically approaching the situation. So they're not needing to go into and fact find about the deal and make sure the deal stacks. They don't even know about this stuff. They're just natural savers. And those are the kind of people you want to start out with, because they're going to ask the least questions regarding the actual deal. They're going to go on more about your integrity, your how you are as an individual, and do they trust you? Do they trust you with their money? And that's all you're trying to do. And if you can get that someone that trusts you, this could be your grandparents, this could be your family, this could be your work colleagues, this could be anybody that knows you well enough, a good friend you've known for 10 years. They're like a brother to you, and they trust you. Anything you say is like gold. So they haven't really got to check and understand what it is you're about to do. Just trust that you know what you're doing and you're capable of going to deliver, and they'll lend the money to you. So that's how you got to do it when on your first deal if you're trying to raise funds. I don't know, Tej, you want to add any bit different to that?
You know what, my gut, when people ask that question, my gut answer is you don't. And that's wrong, because you do it. I know you do. But there's obviously context to the people you knew and the business you had before. And I think what people have to realize is, one, don't look at us and say, oh, well, these two raise money in hours off Instagram. You're not going to really do that on your first deal. Like, you might, but don't compare yourselves to our year two when it's your day two. Secondly, what Alfred said, speak to your family, friends, people who know you, people who trust you already. Three, we don't, but consider JVing, because if you're new, people are more likely to give you, well, it depends on them, but they're more likely to give you money when they feel they've got a bigger chunk in it. Of course, they're carrying half the reward, but also half the risk, which they really people don't think about. So I think potentially is be open to JVing on a flip if you don't want to be in there long term. Alfred kind of touched on it there about, like, they're going to go after you and your integrity, but also what if you've been a salesperson, or you're a manager in your job or something like that? That is your that's your experience so far. Yes, it's not property, but you can say, I was #1 salesperson, I was blah blah. That can show them a track record to say, actually, you are not an idiot. you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that can help you as well.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'll leave this one. It's a good question. You know what? Fuck it, I'll bring it now. What's the end goal for both of you? For you both? You want to start?
You want to start?
To know what your end goal is. I don't know. I don't know what your end goal is.
Good question, and a very commonly asked question, but there is no end, right? Like, the end is death. That's the end of it all.
Yeah.
Until then, it's just a journey and an experience. So I would say, is there a figure, is there a thing when I'll stop property and do something else? No. But do I know that I will do it at some point and launch another business and do other shit and just, whatever? Yeah, I do. But that will come when it feels like it's the right time. So yes, there might be an income figure, 5K, 10K, 20, whatever a month. But if I'm at 8 and I'm trying to get to 9, but I'm like, you know what? I hate this. I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it. So for me, it's kind of like, it's tough. Yeah, it's a bit philosophical, because it's like, the goal is to be happy and be content and be present for me, which I already am, irrespective of income, irrespective of flips, or if I'm doing developments yet or not, but I'm also still pushing to do them. So I suppose the goal is to continue being happy, content, and present, whilst also balancing it with the ambition to do stuff, because we need to be doing stuff. It's good for us, right? So yeah, it's not really an answer, but it's just to be happy, I suppose, to really continue.
Yeah. I think you've pretty much said it, to be honest. I don't think there is an end goal. I think if you want to say what aspirations-wise, what I want to do, I definitely want to go bigger, for sure. HMOs is my main focus now, because I've got a game plan, which is to kind of build a solid foundation of HMOs, which provide me income, and therefore allow me to take bigger risk with larger projects, because I want to go big. I want to get involved in a 10 million pound, 100 million pound project, whether it be property. So property is one avenue, and again, the whole diversifying thing, I feel like it will come at a certain time. I'm very, very narrow focused on HMOs. You won't see me talking about flats or land development deals. Yes, I would love to do stuff like that, but I want to get involved in those spaces, but leverage the people that are already experts in those space. And maybe my contribution is me bringing the money to the table through my network. Because I'm trying to build my network in terms of being able to raise funds. If I need £1 million to chuck into a development deal, I've got the relationship with the investor. If they want a freeway split or they trust me with their money and happy to get a return, even better, I go and find a developer who's got a site, who's got the credibility, give them the money, we do the work, and we all benefit. So I do aspire to do bigger things, but I do want to do something outside of property, which is buying businesses. So that's another thing that I want to step into. I feel like that's where real money can be made in terms of, I want to say quick, but there's more of a jump. It can be very, very easy to kind of add very minimal value to a business and then increases profits, revenue, whatever you want to call it. And therefore the business is now worth more based on its multiplier. If you do a group combination of businesses and then sell it off to a fund or a bigger company who is a competitor maybe as well, and they buy you out, that's another exit day. And this is cash. This is the difference. A business that's worth £10 million, when you sell it, you're getting £10 million cash into the bank account. Whereas property, it might be worth £10 million, but your equity in there might be 25%, which is what, 2.5 million. So only that money is coming to you. So it's all those, because so for me, it's like, yeah, from real, in terms of getting real wealth and getting lump sums of money, business buying is the way forward. That's how you really, that's what
I think it'd be really good fun. Like buying a shit business and just turning it around. That'd be so much fun. I'd love that. It'd be awesome.
But obviously it comes with its headache, expertise. Again, it's all leveraging people's network. But again, you can't do those things unless you have money. Because that strategy there is a lot of capital injection. You've got to believe in the business. You've got to hire people. People are going to charge for their time. And very, very, some will even ask for equity. They don't even want the money. They say, look, Alfred, don't pay me. Give me 10% of this business. I'll grow this business to £100 million. On the exit day, I get my 10%. So their 10% of £100 million is 10 million. Why would they take 100 grand, 200 grand to come and work? Yeah, do you know what I mean? They're not going to do that. They know the value in which they're about to give. So they want to have equity in the business. But not to kind of take it off subject, but that's aspirational where I want to kind of go to in the future. Large stuff, big numbers. I'm not fearful of that. It's all about knowledge and network and leveraging people. So I'm very comfortable getting into that space.
Love it. Great answer.
Mate, just saying, you're really going for this one, aren't you? You got like 5 questions in here, mate. We'll chuck one in. Advice for a 22-year-old. What would you say? I
answered it in the chat. I just said, be a good person. If you ask a big generic question like that, you're going to get a shit generic answer. And that's my answer.
Yeah, see, I'm not. You would say I'm rude.
Listen, I'm honest.
I'll just admit, obviously depends. It's an open-ended question, but you've got to put more context into it. So you can't really advise on that. If it's all you're saying, 22-year-old, what does that mean? Do you know what I mean? It can mean a lot of things. Moisturize. Don't wait till it's too late. Yeah, trust me, start early. That's my advice. Kaz is in. Thanks for joining us as well. Do you think you could raise money without the profile on the socials? Definitely no. For me, especially during this COVID period, I've had very little like personal interactions, and if I had to raise the money and was forced to kind of meet people in person, I wouldn't have raised any money basically. So social media for me, it's been massive to help me get the properties I have, and in terms of raising future funds, it's helped me massively. So social media is for me is a game changer. There's still people that I've invested, I've returned funds to, and I still haven't met in person today, which is insane. And I couldn't have done that without social media. So for me, that's why I spend so much time on here. This is why I do all these things. I'm not doing YouTube, all these things. I'm not doing it for the sake of doing it. I know the value of doing these things. And that's why I invest so much time into it, because I know the return will pay back 10 times. And similarly, in the future, when I want to speak to people with large sums of money, they're going to Google me. They're going to, who the hell's Alfred? I just met this guy, cool. Let's Google, let's do a CRB check on this guy. Let's type him in Google, let's see what comes up. And if I've got content, videos, they see me active, they see me starting from something, going into bigger stuff, they're going to take me seriously. Like, this guy's actually worked hard, he's showing the graph, he's walking the talk. So for me, social media is massive. I don't think I want to get a million followers, 10 million, 100 million, whatever the number can go to, mate. Because I know the power of social media, and I'm not shying away from it. People are like, oh, why do you disclose so much? I'm like, it doesn't matter. So what, I'm disclosing stuff. I feel comfortable enough to be able to share the stuff on my social media. I don't think negatively or someone's going to use that against me or try and do something like negative to me. Mate, people are going to come and do that. If they want to do that, that's on them. For me, I'm still going to get to where I need to go to. It's not going to stop me. It's not going to hinder me. So for me, I'm very like out there. Yes, some people want to be discreet. Especially the way I want to approach things, where I want to leverage people and get people to kind of buy into me and see what I do and therefore trust me with their funds. Because again, I want to raise larger sums of money. This is like the beginning. And the way to do that is showing social proof. So for me, social media, I can't thank it enough. I don't know, you Tej, what would you say?
Same. And yeah, that point about sharing the kind of bad stuff, like it shows people you're human, right? Because you follow certain people. Yeah, I wouldn't say any names, it might slip out. Where you kind of look at it and think, wow, you do everything right. Wow, you make no mistakes. Wow, you're on budget. You're like, wow. And then you train people. Wow. Whereas I think people appreciate the fact that we say like this went wrong, that went wrong. You know what? But I paid 3 or 4 investors back late because of COVID. They got more interest, so they didn't really give a shit. They were like, yeah, keep it, mate. But I think a lot of people wouldn't share that because they're like, oh my god, like next investor might think that I'm gonna. But people actually, the people we want to work with prefer hearing that because they're like, well, yeah, that makes sense actually, given what happened to the world,
Yeah.
given the projects, and so it makes you more investable, which people should learn earlier on. It does make you more investable. But yeah, without social media, nah.
And obviously, if you don't know who Property by Kaz is, Kaz has got a huge follower. And mate, you should be raising, you should be giving us cash. Use your platform, raise a few million, say, who wants money, mate? I've got 5 million in my hands. I'll give it to you at whatever rate you want to basically give out. Borrow it cheaper, lend out for more, make a few percents. That's passive, bro. So I'm waiting for you, Kaz. I need you to drop £500,000. I need £500,000. So that's
Kaz, I'll take a tenner. I'll take a tenner, Kaz. We'll start small, innit? Then we'll get there.
Yeah. So let's move on. So what the hell? Kaz, I'll drop this one in quickly and take it off. Tej, this one for you. What's your what type of moisturizer do you recommend to glow, Tej?
Well, for your hands, I'm currently using the Palmer's cocoa butter for the hands, and then I've also got some Crabtree and Evelyn when I'm feeling a bit bougie.
Okay, no, you're actually taking this thing seriously, mate.
Of course, I'm taking it seriously. Listen, for the face, I use Nivea, Clarins, and then sometimes Body Shop. But Body Shop is for all over as well, so I'm a Body Shop guy. That's me. Fruity flavors.
Okay, so we've got another question. So, Clary27, what areas would you suggest buying your first buy-to-let property? See, I'm going to tackle this, and probably people are going to be very surprised with my answer. So, I'm going to put it in context. My background, I'm an engineer. So, I'm wired to be solution-orientated. I don't let things limit my decision-making. So, the question there is, what area would you suggest buying your first buy-to-let? Pretty much anywhere in the UK works for buy-to-let. Obviously, you don't want to buy in the bad streets, so you don't know where the good streets are, but you can find out by speaking to local agents. So the next question is, okay, how can I buy on that street? You find out what the price is. The price might be, it could be even £1 million. It could be 500K, it could be 100K. So depending on where you are position-wise in terms of your money, if you don't have enough, the problem is you need to raise more money. How do you fix that? How do you get more money? So you can have a leverage over people. This could be a form of JVing. This could be a form of you going to your network and raising the capital to be able to get in the deal. So I don't shy away from saying, oh, because the property's so expensive, I can't get in that deal. Like I'm talking about doing 50 units, £5 million developments. I know I need at least 500 to £1 million to get into this type of deals, but I don't have that money. But I know how I can go about getting the money. So it doesn't stop me from getting to those deals. I know I can provide the value by going and getting that money, and that solves the problem and therefore gets me into the deal. So just switch the mindset in terms of thinking, where can you go? Most areas work for buy-to-lets. You just want to find the right street you want to buy on. And then it's how can I get in? What's the cost of entry? And how can I make it happen?
What Alfred said.
That's what I'll say to that one.
That's my answer as well. I agree.
So this one, Geneva, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. How do you raise finances for purchasing properties? Ted, I'll pass it on to you.
You give me this broad question. Okay. Okay, there's multiple ways to answer this, but the basics are, well, there's two main ways. Joint venturing, which is, okay, me and Alfred got a property, I put in 100% of the funds, Alfred does all the work, I chill, he, deals with builders, all that bullshit. At the end of it, we both own 50% each, we both get 50% of the rent, blah, blah, happily ever after. Until we beef and the JV goes to shit and then we get into litigation. Anyway, some JVs end good, and some go okay. Or we sell the property, we get 50% each. Alternatively, which is what me and Alfred do, and a lot of people you probably follow on Instagram do, is loans. Alfred says, I've got a property, I need 100K. I say, here's 100K, see you in 12 months, bye. He gives me an interest rate, whenever it's monthly, annually, quarterly, whatever. 12 months' time, he pays the capital back. I'm X% richer, and I've done absolutely nothing. That is the kind of main concept. Obviously, there's a legal agreement between us. There's different levels of security. There isn't much to it. Like in terms of a loan, an unregulated business-to-business loan, it's pretty much it's like a mortgage giving you. It's a mortgage company giving you a loan. It's like going to Sainsbury's Bank and saying, "Can I have a personal loan of 40 grand?"
Yeah,
it's the same mechanics basically.
Literally, I'm not going to add any more to that one. Okay, we've got quite a lengthy one. It's hopefully perfect. It all popped up. So, Trader D, is it true that you have to wait 6 months before you can sell a property after you purchase it? No, or I guess it depends as well. I can't think of a scenario whereby you have to wait. I think there is one though. Depends how you bought. I think you bought cash.
If you're refinancing it and you bought it with an investor's cash,
yeah,
some lenders will make you wait past 6 months, whereas some are okay with it. I've had it before where they were like, nah, sorry. I was like, what the fuck? It makes no difference. But yeah, but selling it though, you don't have to wait 6 months. However, and people don't even the person buying it off you, their solicitor should raise the inquiry, why are you selling it so soon? You say, I'm a property investor. Their lender may be iffy about 6 months, but most lenders aren't because they understand what we do as a business. We flip. So just be aware though, some lenders can be difficult, but I think most are okay with it.
Yeah, I'll leave this one as well. I think it's answered. There's not much more to add onto that. Why are people asking? Some thoughts on Samuel Leeds? I have no comments on the guy. I don't need to speak about him. This is an interesting question. How do you ask someone to be your mentor? So I'm going to talk about a recent event. I kind of shared a bit on my Instagram. So I put a recent post on my Instagram saying, oh, thinking of doing mentorship, who's interested? And it's either yes or no. People said yes and people said no. So there's a guy that said yes, and I replied to him saying, why is it that you want me to be a mentor? Then he kind of I don't know if I triggered him, I don't know, he just took it down this route of, why is it that you can't tell me what it is you're about to offer me for me to be able to say yes or no to it? I'm like, you said yes, so I'm just asking, like, why is it that you're interested in me? The guy says, I don't really know anything. He went on the ego thing. This is I'm going to comment. Have you ever had a conversation with people where they mistake your confidence for ego? And he's like, oh, I'm thinking, why are you? So first of all, you've replied to my post to say yes, you're interested. So I'm not about to now come and try and sell myself to you, because I'm assuming for you to click I am interested in someone, it means you must have seen their content, you must have liked what they do, you align with that person, therefore are interested in working with that person, and that's why you click yes. So I'm assuming, this is my assumption, I'm sorry, I can't not assume anything else but that. He goes and say, I don't really know who you are, I don't know you from anywhere. I'm like, so if you don't know me from anywhere, why the hell are you replying yes to my post? And it just went spiral. But anyways, kind of back to the whole, how do you ask someone to be a mentor? It's obviously, one, the person's going to be out there communicating that they're mentoring people. And you can then approach them and obviously try and gain their time and structure something that works for both of you. That's pretty much it. Some people can be bold and ask, do you mentor? By all means do that. I personally don't mentor. The only form of mentoring I've done is on the case where someone's lent me money at 0% interest. It's like 30 grand, 35, whatever, 30 something grand. No 0% interest. And I gave them an hour of my time every 2 weeks. And that's my only form of mentoring. Because I'm going to tell you 5-10 grand. I don't know. I can tell you. I can shout a number off the top of my mind and just like, this is my number. Take it or leave it. And for me, I don't want to even like grow that and just be mentoring people. I want to buy more property. I want to raise more money. That's how you get my attention. If you want to get my attention, slide in my DMs, and not to just come and slide in my DMs and show me a statement of 100 grand or 200 grand and think I'm going to give you time. The conversation is, you want to invest with me. That's how you get my attention. I'm not really going to just because you're showing me you got money or you're telling me you got money, I'm now going to be answering questions. You could try. You see my replies in my DMs. I'm just a straight up person. I'm only going to tell you because I'm here to do business. If you're interested in working with me, great. But the whole just people trying to fact find and trying to rule you in by saying, oh, they want to invest you in, and actually they don't want to invest in you, that triggers me. So that's why I'm coming from this angle. Trust me, I've spoken to hundreds of people regarding lending money to me and working on projects. And I've seen the people that are serious, literally people that are serious. They ask, Alfred, how much you need? How long do you need the money for? Yeah. What's my return? These are the 3 questions. And literally, if that works for them, you can show proof of funds. We jump on a call, get to know each other a bit more, and the money's sent. This literally, no word of a lie. This is the conversation. So when people come and try, oh, Alfred, depends on the deal. I'm like, no, it doesn't depend on the deal. The deal has nothing to do with the money about to spend. The principle here is you have money sat there doing nothing for you. Do you trust me? Literally, that's the principle. Do you trust me with your money over X period of time? And do you like the return you're about to receive? If the answer is yes, we're going to do the deal. Because I always say, okay, I tell you about this deal. Do you know that this deal's going to finish in the next 4 months? And I've borrowed the money for 12 months. So if I'm going to use it the next deal and another deal after that, what's the relevance of the deal I'm talking to you about right now? 0. So the principle here about lending money is, do you trust the person you're lending the money to? And I try and make this very politely and clearly to people sliding in and trying to ask questions about, or tell me it depends on the deal. Like, I'm not JVing. You're not lending 100% of the money. Only in those cases where, yes, it depends on the deal, because we're in a partnership, or you're funding the entire deal and therefore want to know the exit, how much it costs to refurb it, what we buying it for, who's the team. That all makes sense. Can't fault you on that. You can, then at that point, you're basically a bridging lender, and you can ask 10,000 questions, and that's what a bridging lender does. But someone loaning a proportion of money to a deal, in my opinion, can't be asking about the deal. It's irrelevant. It's honestly irrelevant. So it's who you're investing the money. I'm the person you're gonna ask to return the money. The deal isn't gonna pay you back. If the deal doesn't perform, I always ask a question to someone. I remember one person really triggered me, and I said, okay, can I come back to you if I do this deal, it goes south, don't make no money, can I come back to you and say I've lost your money? The answer is no, I cannot. So what relevance to the deal? Whether I perform or don't perform, I still owe you money. Just understand that principle. Sorry, I've gone on a little bit of a rant, but I think it's a well-deserved.
Now we're getting deep into your feelings there, man. Like a therapy session. I love it.
Today, people just be triggering me all the time, man. But I just try and be polite. What do you get this?
You know what, I used to at the start. Now, you know what, now what triggers me is entitlement in every form. Now we can talk about this across all levels of society. But when people is what you said, they come into your DMs and they expect you to give them time. I don't mind, yeah? I don't mind, like, giving time. But when they kind of expect it, or they feel entitled to information or to ask you stuff, when it's like, hold on, you listen to my podcast here, hundreds of hours of free content, you haven't left a fucking review. Well, go fuck yourself. Secondly, you read my book, yeah, and you haven't left an Amazon review. You know what to do to yourself.
Guys, if you agree, just say yes in the comments. If we're mad, say no. If you're in agreement, say yes. Because I honestly sometimes I want to get feedback to say I'm not mad. I clearly can't be mad. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I just want to know what people think as well. I know it come across as just again confidence for ego. I'm not ego person. Like I believe I have very strong self-belief. And I don't like people trying to challenge me or trying to tell me this and that. If I'm wrong, I would have been first to admit I'm wrong. But in this instance, like, come on, guys. Do you know what I mean? This is very logical.
It's give and take, isn't it? I think in order for you to take, you have to give. And like, especially if we're the ones who have the knowledge, they need to give to us before they take from us. And it's the same for us. If we're asking people we kind of learn from, we are going to be giving first. Like, okay,
literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
People don't.
If I want someone to be a mentor, I'm begging for their time. I'm literally, what do you need from me to allow you to give me back your time so I can learn from you? If that's 100 grand, I'm gonna work out how can I get 100 grand and go get this person's mentor because I want it that bad. I'm not gonna try and now do all this prove yourself. I just, Jeremy, you should know all of that stuff before approaching someone and saying you want them to be a mentor. I don't need to tell you. I'm sorry. I don't need to. For me, every mentor I've gone to them and asked them, listen, how can you mentor me? What do I need to do for you to become a mentor?
That's the question.
And if I can make it work, I'll make it work. If I want it that bad, I'll go and find out how I can make it happen and make it happen. That's an important question. So I do mentor, but obviously I don't talk about it on my profile. I don't really mention it because I just it's something I don't want to grow. And it's something I want to do with people who are actually going to take the action. So I have one guy, and we started like a month and a half ago, and he's getting 2 properties at the moment. So people like him who just go 100 miles an hour. And again, it's selective. You've got to find out who the person are they the right person? Because again, I'm not in it for money. You're costing me money. There's people who think, oh yeah, if you put 5 grand. I'm like, do you think 5 grand means anything to me? I'm sorry, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Your 5 grand is actually I've just spent hours. If I calculate 6 months, that's 12 hours. That's 12 hours I could have gone to raise, I don't know, 200 grand. 5 grand, 200 grand, what's more valuable? It's definitely not 5 grand. So this one says, I find it really, really hard to even just say, I'm just charging because I just want to know you're serious. That's actually the reason for charging. Because I know if I say 5 grand, you're not going to be interested, and I'll throw you off. And thank you very much. I'm not interested in doing it anyways. So you just solved my problem for me.
I think people need to come to a mentor knowing what they want from it. When people ask 100%. Me, I always say, "What do you?" And I'm like, "Look, come with 3 to 5 bullet points of what you want from a mentor." Because straight away I can say, "Oh, I can do that," or I can say, "Nah, maybe someone else can." So that's what I think. Adding to what you've said.
We've got another question here from Clary. Do you guys have any JVs together, including Kaz? If not, why not? I haven't done any JVs to date, again, because I'm fixated on building my foundation, which is building a portfolio of HMOs, which provide me income to allow me to do bigger things. So for that sole reason, I have not done any JVs, but I will be doing JVs on larger projects, and this is like 5 million plus developments. That's where I want to get into. That's the only point I feel like it's worth my time to JV with someone. Maybe on a nice build to sell luxury homes. That's where Kaz maybe comes in. Again, if I can raise the money to be in the deal, he develops it, we do that. That could be a partnership. But I want it to be worth the while, basically. I'm not going to do it to split HMOs, JV, and some people keep messing me out JV and HMOs. I swear, if I really wanted to, I thought about this one day. I was like, if I was to just do JVs, I could probably have 20, 30 properties and just JV. But again, for me, it's not, the principle here is I've got bigger aspirations. I need a foundation whereby it's solely owned by me. The income comes to me only. I'm going to speak to JV partners about selling if something goes wrong in other areas of life where I need to sell the asset to get capital to go again or whatever, put into another project. Do you know what I mean? I own it, I control this. I can do what I want. I'm going to speak to nobody. So JVs, yes, it's a way to kind of scale up and get things done quickly. And if that's your plan and maybe a long-term plan through JVs, then go have fun with it. But remember this as well. JVs, they're all good starting up. But you've got to remember, when things go wrong or things don't go well or circumstances changes, you're now financially linked to this person. It's not very easy to just say, oh, can we just sell this property? No. The person might say, no, I like this property. I like the location. I'm not selling this. I haven't got the money to pay your shares out. Can't buy you out. Then what? So all these things, complications, I don't need all that stress. On a large deal, I think it's worth my time. You know what I mean? A few millions, I think it's worth my time. And at that point, it's kind of irrelevant. If I wanted to sell it, it's not affecting my personal portfolio. Do you know what I mean? And therefore, I can make decisions. You know what? It is what it is. Let's just get rid of it, get out of it. And that's where I would want to kind of do JVs. I don't know about you, Ted. What would you say to that?
I would say everything you've said so far, and then I would also add, so on like land developments, I would absolutely do JVs like all day long because of what you said. It's just you get more bang for your buck. But also, I think, and I'm sure you'll agree with this as well, we raise money at a percentage way lower than 50% with ease now why on earth are we going to give 50% away to someone when we can get it for 4, 6, whatever it is? Like, it just doesn't, the spreadsheet says no, it doesn't make sense. And for me, with buy-to-lets, I've got even less cash flow to be split in. It's just, it's not even worth it. Yeah, it doesn't make any, like, on flips, you might think, oh yeah, you know, like my next flip should be 30, 40 grand profit. Yeah, I could split that. But why, when I've borrowed the money at 0% and 6%, why would I do that? So it's kind of your situation. Whereas if I was just starting out and I had either JV or don't buy a property, you know, there's an obvious one, I think, sometimes in that situation.
So yeah, I guess it's circumstance based. What works for you? What's your aspirations? Oh yes, I'm gonna click in this one. Hussein, this guy, I like this guy. Do you want to hit that billion pound mark? Listen, millions is like the old thing. There will be trillion. I guarantee there'll be someone worth £1 trillion, dollars. Currency is going down in value. Like, yeah, we should all know this by now. Last year, if you're still on the same salary as you were working last year, you're earning less than you was based on what's been injected into the system. The pound is worth less, dollar's worth less. So £1 million is worth less, £1 billion worth less, all of that. So it's inflating, everything's been inflated. So trillions of dollars will be owned by people, businesses, all that stuff. So yes, I do plan to hit the £1 billion mark for sure. It is one of my goals for sure. Okay. Yeah, this Hussein is like, he came for, I'm just seeing this, guys, I'm trying to avoid this Hussein guy, but he's got, okay, we got one from, okay, I don't know, it's J&K Estates. Can you give us a role play on speaking to an investor for the time? So, maybe this is where we plug our announcement. So Tej,
we're not going to do that. Plug it. No, listen, because for my e-learning, I did a role play and you did a video for it. So and we did it on Clubhouse. So just talk about what we're doing, you know.
So guys, so I did say we have an announcement today. So myself and Tej, we are going to be doing a masterclass on raising finance. We don't know exactly what date yet. We haven't really come up with it, but we are going to like put the fillers out there to see what people's interest levels are like regarding this. Because it is a question that people ask all the time. How do you raise money? How do you find investors? All these questions. We're thinking of doing a 2-hour session, a Zoom call. It'll probably be more than 2 hours. So we'll probably undersell and then over deliver. That's the plan anyways. There will be a cost to this. It's not free. Again, I'm not in it to sit and spend 2 hours of my time. We don't have to. Because it's a common question asked. So I feel like, okay, let's get on the board. We're both had success doing this. So we're happy to share the information. There will be a cost to this. Price tag, we don't know. We've got a number in mind. You know, fuck, I'll say a number now. We're thinking less than £100 is what we're thinking for the 2-hour session. It could be
less than 100, but more than 90. So somewhere in that region.
It could be more than 100, but I don't know. I don't know. But we'll just see what the kind of the amount of people are interested in doing it and what the price point will be, and kind of formally put it out there. Link. Click on the link, you pay for it, and you turn up to the Zoom call, and then, yeah, we do a role play, we can, anything, Q&A session, all that will run. 2 hours.
So DM us, and we'll put you on the unofficial list, pre-list, before we start doing it all formal and stuff.
So yeah, and then we can deep dive into this stuff, and the value will be there. And then, again, Tej has built an amazing platform. If you haven't checked it out already, it's got an e-learning platform. Raising finance, a very extensive one, probably the most extensive one I've seen out there in the industry of property investing for sure. So if it's something that you really deep want to understand it, I think that's another another avenue. But obviously costs a bit more than the masterclass. But I think start with the masterclass. If you feel that's of value, then for sure, 1,010%, the e-learning will blow your mind. To put it simple.
Alfred's in it as well.
We're taking Bitcoin, any form of currency, mate.
I will take food. I will take. Yeah, listen, my currency is abroad, so I'm ready.
All right, so that's that on raising finance side of things. Okay, so we've got a question, a very interesting one actually. So, question for both of you: what was the worst decision you made during your journey in property? Let me see, the property management, which you still regret.
Do doing this live with Alfred. The biggest. Okay, so firstly, I don't regret any. I don't think Alfred, you regret any either. Like, can't live with
Yeah, I think
regrets.
everything happens for a reason. Is the way I like to see it. It's either a learning curve. I think any setback is an area of growth, opportunity for growth. So I don't.
Yeah. I can't think of one.
If I had to put a word, I'm trying to think worst decision.
I've got 100. I haven't got one. There's no one big one. There's hundreds of little ones that added up.
It's always a little thing. Maybe you might have thought, oh, there's somewhere maybe I thought I could have split the room sizes across the 2 rooms. So very, very little decisions. They're not like financially impacting me in any way form. It's just, I would have loved to have kind of maybe made a room size average across the 2 as opposed to one big and one slightly smaller. Stuff like that. But nothing.
Well,
nothing.
I had a refurb actually. I had a refurb which I was meant to make 20 grand on the flip, and it made minus 5k, and then afterwards it cost me another grand to fix the stuff for the current owner. I mean, that was a lot of little mistakes, but I'd say the big mistake was not doing the refurb appropriately and correctly in lots of different parts. But that's to summarize it.
Yeah. Maybe now. Okay. So got one. What would you tell yourself, your 21-year-old self? 21-year-old self. I think I was in uni doing my masters, my final year of masters. Get financially educated, read books. I found out that quite late. Like, I've already told my little brother to kind of start reading stuff now. Like he's about to turn 16. So I'm still trying to get him to start early and just acquire the knowledge, become wiser. So the sooner you can start that stuff, the better. But also just simply get educated.
I would agree. I would also say, start some sort of side business. Just get some sort of commercial, running your own business experience. Even if it flops, even if it makes you whatever, just do something that's kind of commercial. Yeah, that's what I would say to
do. Someone said, I want to answer this question from Vance. How much? I know the guy's young. This is definitely a good question. How much money should you make a month to comfortably buy a Lambo? That's very dependent on you as an individual. A Lambo, to buy it, lease it, whatever, it's like 3-4 grand a month. Deposit. It's a hefty chunk. It's like putting a deposit for a house.
Petrol, insurance.
It's not a bad investment. If it's a Lambo that appreciates in value over time, it's a rare one, do you know what I mean? It just depends on how you want to utilize your money. So, but it's got to make sense to you. What's your cash flow? If you've seen an investment, you go and do it. If you just buy it for the sake of having a Lambo, then just make sure you have, it's a few percent of your what's it called, of your income, maybe under 5% of your income. And if you want to put that to a Lambo, that's on you. But yeah, to kind of answer that,
just make sure you can get in and out of one, innit? Because like my knees, listen, then
yeah, it's very very tricky to get.
You and I, have you sat in a Hurricane convertible Spider?
They're all tight. Yeah, they're all.
But listen, you and me are looking over the bloody windshield. It's ridiculous. It's silly.
They're great cars to be in terms of speeds, acceleration, all that stuff. Yeah, but in terms of practicality, they're tight, man. They're tight.
Little man cars. They're little man cars.
Yeah. What's your opinion? I'm just reading ones off, just I can just see. What's your opinion on the property sourcing strategy? It's not something I do, so I can't really comment, unfortunately. Sorry.
I like, if you're new to property and you haven't got funds necessarily, it's a great way to start. Most are shit. Chances are, you might end up being shit as well. So just do it correctly. It's a great strategy, but it's easy to get into. So there's just a lot of bad people doing it. But if you do it well, it can set you up for your own portfolio, like, incredibly.
This is I'll throw this one at you, Tej. If you look back at when you were both starting out, what would you have done differently? My answer is simply nothing. I am where I am because of what I did. So, Tej.
I thought about this, and I think I would have bought less. I would have bought property slower, and I would have actually progressed quicker and bought more had I done that. It sounds illogical, but rushing and getting too many at once. Yeah, I would have just changed that. But otherwise, what you said as well.
And I guess put that into context, obviously, because you scaled very quickly, and like you said, I think your lessons that you're learning from your first few ones, because you're literally buying them so quickly, the lessons weren't being implemented onto the next project. So
Nope.
kind of the same issues might be reoccurring. And on your next set of projects, the next 4 or 5 houses, then you're kind of now implementing that, where you've made the same mistakes on 3, 4 properties because you're buying and refurb at the same time. So I guess what you said, slow down, got the first one, maybe start to finish, or maybe near the end, understood the whole thing, then implemented it. And then at that point, you can have one next 3, 4. And then again, after that's finished, another 3, 4, whatever, 5, 10, whatever the number is. Okay, so I'm just scrolling past Hussein's questions. You know what? I don't think there's any new questions outside of that one, so I will bring one up from him. What did he say? Would you ever? This is very simple. Commercial? No, not me. Who knows? Who knows? Right now, no. Where I'm standing today, I say no straight to that. I don't really think about that. I don't really look to get into that space. Don't know about you, Tej.
Commercial to resi. Yeah, it's definitely something I'm looking at. There's a lot of opportunities in it, and people locally to me are getting these opportunities, especially with class, is it MA, and the different changes in the world and the commercial landscape. It's definitely an interesting one. I do want to hold some commercial assets at some point, just like a boring, yield FRI, but that's like when you're rich, later on.
Yeah, this is a very interesting question, social media related. Do you guys use TikTok to put yourself out there? I heard it's good for business. Currently, I haven't. My little brother's actually got an account where they're getting like millions of views. They're getting paid now. Got like 20K.
What does he do? Does he dance? Does he do funny stuff?
No, it was like music videos recreated and kind of got some titles, some catchy titles, and just creating debates. So a lot of comments, interaction. And that's what's getting the views. And now they're like they shot, and it's literally overnight one post just went viral, and from there they got like 20K like following just like over 2 days.
Wow.
So yeah, it went from like 5K to like 15, then it's grown. I don't know where they're probably on 30K now. I think they've got a few million views now. They're getting paid. Their ads revenue stuff is coming through as well now. So it is, but it took them a long time of consistency of just putting posts out every single time. And it just takes one to go viral, get the recognition, people start interacting with you, and that's where you even go even harder with the content, just to get, because now the eyes are on you. So don't lose the momentum, don't lose the focus, just go bigger. But it is a great platform if you can get the traction and get the views, for sure.
What Alfred said, I agree.
Okay, so this is an interesting one as well. At what point did each of you raise private finance for a deal? For me, it's my first one. I was comfortable because, again, in context, I worked in a company where I was dealing with millions of pounds in budget, signing off millions of pounds. So I was never fearful of money. I kind of understood money, understand how to kind of look after money, like manage it, budget it. So I was very comfortable going out there and borrowing sums of money and believing in myself, more importantly, that I can take that money and go and make more money with it and bring the money back to the investor and pay them their return, and everybody wins. So I wasn't shy of doing that on my first deal. I know there's people out there that want to use their own money and just build the confidence. I didn't have to. Again, it's a very individual thing. It's who you are as a person, what's your risk appetite, how much do you believe in yourself, how confident are you of taking people's money, and comfortable as well of doing stuff like that. I was. So I think it's individual. Yeah, it depends on you as an individual. You, Ted, I know you got a different view on this one.
I did raise money for my first deal from a family member, but only because the broker messed up the bridging. So I was originally going to use my money and the bridge, but I used a loan from a family member. So yeah, I suppose it does count as an investor, but I suppose the first stranger investor was my third deal. Yeah. So as soon as I did 1, 2-ish myself, put an Instagram story out, and literally DM, one phone call, 8 minutes. I always remember this. And this is when Tej Talks was fairly new-ish. Yeah. 2 weeks later, £57,000 in my account. I mean, it was like an earn and learn, what you kind of mentioned before, the invest and learn type thing. But that's the power of this. That's what it is.
There you go, guys. It sounds very strange. I know people think, how the hell does that happen? How the hell do you meet someone again? And obviously, Tej didn't just come out of nowhere. He'd been showing his journey, doing viewings, what he's learning, what he's seeing, and people followed that journey. And they said, you know, I like this guy because I didn't literally. Honestly, it comes down to like, know, and trust. Like that is it. I don't think anybody, because I've raised money very quickly. Like what Tej was saying, like I put a post up and raised money, like within hours, and it's not because I'm just a random person that's come on and said, oh, borrow me money, because who in a right man would? They know me through social media, they like me through social media, they trust me through social media, and therefore they invest in me, and that is as simple as it is. So we've got a question here from Wiz Ade. What's the biggest headache you've had whilst renovating a property? I think
The builder.
Yeah, I think my headache is when things crop up. We had a property we just renovated. We took the wall down in the loft space. We realized that the roof, the supporting beam was bowing, and therefore had to replace the entire roof. So obviously extra costs. I don't like extra costs. Joist, another property, we took the floorboards off. Sort of joist. Like now it needs replacing. We can't carry on with this. We need to do it properly. Take it out. Put new joists in. So these are all, I think my biggest headache is an additional cost, to put it simple.
I think my biggest headache is managing builders and ensuring stuff is done. That's from my previous bad experience. But what you've said is a big headache. And now for my flip, I'm managing it trade by trade. So follow me on Instagram and you will see many headaches daily.
Yeah, the individual trades, I'm so impatient, and I feel like those guys they're wired in a certain way, which I'm not wired in, and I can't. It's not gonna. I know how I work, and I need to find people that I know I can work with. And for me, that's a construction company, someone that knows how to deal with these individual trades.
Yeah,
I know I haven't got patience for trades. They're late. They'll tell you they're coming on site at 11. They're not even gonna call you to say they're late. They'll arrive the next day and act like nothing's happened. And I don't get those. I see my build team like having to go to the electrician. Like the electrician said, "You come today." He didn't come. The next day he didn't come. Wednesday he's now here. But I don't deal with that. That's not my problem. That's your team. Get that stuff sorted. Obviously, you're gonna get paid. Obviously, on the basis that stuff gets done. And that's for them to worry about. The headache, dealing with that, carpet guys, all these people that you have to rely on to get the job done. I let my team focus on that. I worry about raising money and finding new deals for my team to keep moving from one deal to another. Like, I've got currently 2 projects now. I've got 2 about to go through planning, hoping to tie those up for when these 2 finish, so they jump straight into those ones next. This is a machine. So I don't have time to be calling an electrician to say, oh, yo, where you at? Why are you not on site? Or materials and getting involved in all that. But obviously, if you have the time and you want to save some money, it's definitely more cost effective to do so, for sure. But I'm spending, regardless, it's 100K refurb. I might say 10 grand. You might say 10 grand is a lot of money to save, but in my eyes, it's not. It comes down to the time I would have used to save 10 grand off that 100 grand refurb. I could have used that same time to raise more money, which gets me to more deals. And guess what? I build more assets. So it's a trade-off. Where do you want to play? What's your game plan? And then make it work for you, basically.
Yo, what time are we ending this, bro? Because I'm hungry. I can smell dinner's in. I'm hungry.
I'll pick one more question, and just to kind of one that's beneficial. Can you share examples? We'll just do this one, last one. Can you share examples of major delays you've had in your project and how you dealt with it? I think for most people, COVID's probably the biggest one for me. During COVID, supply issues. So there's a point, if you're in the property industry or property investing, you would know, what's it called? The plastering material, so multi-finish. That turned into gold. The plasterers, people that normally plaster the walls, they stopped working. They said, you know what? Why am I going to go inside and plaster walls when I know I can sell this bag 5 times is value. I'm going to earn a lot more money by selling these crates of plaster than actually going on site and plastering walls. So that's, guess what? They have trailers because they have to plan in advance. They get bulk orders coming in. Because what happened was these manufacturers that made this multi-finish, they'd close their factories down. So there's only one avenue, which is either you have the stock already, you store in a warehouse, in your own private warehouse, we have hundreds of these. But they were like, yep, let's make some money. And they did. I had to spend 3 times the price of a normal £7 bag just to get my project going. Staircase, couldn't get any staircase for a loft. So we had to find a local carpenter who can kind of make the stairs needed, give them the drawings, the measurements. He created one. The main manufacturer who normally does it for us, not available. So my project was supposed to be 16 weeks, took 20 weeks. Delays were happening because of COVID. Many manufacturing supply issues. Don't know about you, Tej.
Yeah, COVID big time. I spent like double, triple the price on plaster. It took time and like try and find it. I would say one of the biggest delays I've had is giving one build team too many houses, too much work. That slowed everything down. Like when they were, trying to do them all at once. But yeah, the main delays have been COVID. All stuff cropping up, like you said, like, oh shit, now we need to do a roof, so we need 2 more weeks to do all, or weather. Sometimes we need to render the outside. You can't do that in rain. And when it's always raining in winter, what the hell do? You just, you can't do anything. Literally. Yeah, you just wait. And it's like, well, this is England. This is going to fucking rain forever. So yeah, weather can be a really, really annoying hindrance sometimes.
No, I think we're going to wrap this one up. I don't see more questions. I'm sorry, guys. Time's up.
Make sure you follow us both on Instagram.
Say that again.
Make sure everyone follows us both on Instagram.
Oh yeah, guys. If you follow myself, Tej, on Instagram as well. This Instagram live, I will be uploading onto my YouTube channel. I don't normally save on my Instagram. I normally take off here, put it onto my YouTube. So if you want to watch the replay for whatever reason, it will be on my YouTube channel. And regarding the masterclass, the Raising Finance masterclass, we'll share some stuff on our story. Just interactive if you're interested. We'll put you on a waiting list or whatever, and we'll let you know once we've kind of gathered something together when we think we can do it, and the price point as well. So yeah, we'll do that. And guys, thanks for interacting as well. I appreciate you obviously spending time with us and interacting and getting your questions answered as well. So I appreciate it. And for that, guys that we didn't get a chance to answer your questions on the next live, feel free to jump back on and ask those questions. But yeah, thanks everyone. Have a good evening. Take care. Thanks, Tej, as well.
Thanks for having me on. Bye.